to Borden with MiningIR, and joining me is Justin Reid, President and CEO of Troilus Gold. Justin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Are you enjoying Miami?
I am. How can you not?
I know, this beautiful sunshine. It's nice to be. I'm from Vancouver. Where are you based?
Toronto, and we had 3 feet of snow the day I left, so I'm happy to be here.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of a background on the company?
Sure. Troilus is listed on the TSX Big Board. We've been a public company for 4 years. We are expanding and redeveloping the past-producing Troilus Mine in Northern Quebec. It operated for 14 years historically, produced 2 million ounces gold and 70,000 tons of copper. It shut down in 2010. My group and I acquired the asset privately. We went public in 2018, and we've since drilled 300,000 meters. We've taken the resource from 1 million ounces of gold to just about 10. Permitting is underway. Feasibility will be out at the end of the year. And we're targeting a 25-year open pit, producing almost 300,000 ounces of gold a year and about 30 million pounds of copper. So it's going to be the second largest gold mine in Quebec and the largest copper mine.
Now, what is Quebec like as a mining jurisdiction?
Depending what survey you look at, the Fraser Institute or what have you, Quebec's always been the top 10. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 5, depending where but right now it's the top 5 jurisdiction in the world for a number of reasons. Security of tenure, security of ownership, if you will. All of the land agreements and land rights have been settled with the First Nations, so very proactive relationship with the First Nations. And also the Quebec government invests in their projects. So if you look at Troilus, we're about a $200 million company. We have about $50 million in the bank. We're well capitalized. We're institutionally owned, and our largest shareholders include Investissement Québec, The Case, Fonds Solitaire de Québec. So the large Quebec pension funds and government are all investors in our company, which gives you that support as you move forward.
Right. Justin, what are some catalysts that investors should be aware of?
Major catalyst for Troilus, just like we have every year, we have 5 drills turning right now. So we're drilling about 10,000 to 15,000 meters a month on a number of new zones and expansions at our main mine. So continual news flow there. Permitting is underway, so you're going to get continual updates on our permitting as we move forward. Ultimately, the end of the year will be the new resource and the feasibility study, and then we're into construction. So lots of news. We're very newsy, and yeah, stay tuned.
We like news.
Yeah.
What does the structure of your team look like?
We're about 100 strong. In Toronto, we have, call it our corporate headquarters. We have about 5 people, 6 people, mainly administration, and then the rest are Quebec based. In our Montreal office, which is our official head office, and at its site. So we're a team from senior administrators like myself, through engineers, geologists, all the way through technicians. So we've put everything in place to not only develop the mine, but build it and operate it.
And what separates you from other mining companies?
Right now, certainly jurisdiction, and you hit on that. I think our balance sheet, majority of gold and copper developers right now, I think, are materially undercapitalized. We have the money in the bank right now to get us through the next 2 years without even blinking. I also believe our shareholder base, we are backed by the largest pension funds in Quebec where we're going to operate. And that provides not only a capital stability, but I think a permitting and operational stability as well, because we're acting as partners with the government. So from that, and then ultimately it's size and scale. You know, very few developing gold companies in the world have the ability to produce 300,000 ounces a year. So we're certainly in the top 5% of scale in a good jurisdiction.
You mentioned you are continuously drilling. What other things excite you for 2023, the coming months? What are you most looking forward to outside of the results from drilling?
Well, besides being in the sun in Miami,
and that.
I think what we're seeing now in the gold space has actually had a fairly good start to 2023. Gold's come back a little bit here, but our stock is up almost 150% this year. Investors are coming back to the gold space slowly as we see continued economic instability. So from that standpoint, I think you're going to see a lot of undervalued gold operations and gold companies get revalued this year. I also think that we're seeing consolidation in the space. We're seeing those producers who have taken advantage of a good gold price for the last 5 and 6 years, who now have excess capital and strong balance sheets, going out and looking for new assets. We just saw B2 Gold buy Sabina. We've seen that Newmont is making a bid for Newcrest. We're starting to see a lot of M&A, which is again bringing investors' eyes back to the space. So I think those who have survived the last few years are going to be well rewarded this year.
Justin, is there anything else you'd like to let our investors know? Or
Toronto, Troilus is TSX listed, ticker is TLG, and please feel free to reach out to us and my team if you have any questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.